but I'm basically a washing machine mechanic. I got some instructions, my marching orders, and I'm gonna see what I can do about fixing this thing. Always unplug it first. Safety first. Hey, it turns out my career as a washing machine repair woman aren't gonna really get off the ground too fast. Every day on the homestead is not me picking green beans and flowers, jumping on the trampoline and taking walks, although that might be how I would prefer it. I am going to attempt to take the motor off of this washer to not have to buy another one. And this one, I've been talking to the repair person. He doesn't come out this far, so I get to take it into him. I've never done this kind of stuff before, but nobody else is here with me, so that's what I'm gonna do. And so he warned me that there would be water coming out, and so I have a towel here ready to go. He also had a machine to do his. I'm just doing it by hand. Okay. Anticipate a rush of water. Ah! Oh gracious, I was not thinking it would be that much. His showed like a half a cup, but okay. Lovely. Stepping inside, we've got our brand spanking new washing machine that we had to switch out yesterday. We had that old $75 Speed Queen laundromat edition with the coin slots that worked when it worked, and it was 21 years old, and so finally they said it might be the transmission. There was no guarantee that if we put money into it that it would be fixed, so we opted to replace it. I'm tickled pink because I'm doing laundry in my own laundry room. Have a completely full tank, so we are back in business, and so I'm going to switch this pump off and go do some laundry. If you think that our life kind of revolves around this pump, you're sort of right, because water is everything. If you don't have water, you can't wash dishes, it's hard to cook, can't wash clothing or anything else, so gotta always keep the tanks full, and we can't run this all the time because we have to watch the level of the well. If we run the well dry, then we're in big trouble. So there's quite a balance between how much we pump and how fast we pump, because this we can crank it up to a super high pumping speed, and that's what my temptation is a lot. But then we risk dropping the level of the well, which we do not want to do, because then we'll burn our solar pump, which is down in the well. We have a submersible, we have a deep and shallow water, I think it's like dual pump, and so we have to be really careful that we keep it under, that we keep it submerged. We run this for a while, we keep an eye on the tank, and I'm probably going to do several loads of laundry, and then I'm going to come and turn this back on. So I'm going to be working on that, you know, in between doing everything else, and I'm going to pick a project. I think it's going to be cleaning out the living room today, try to get the wood out, try to get it ready for the next round of wood that comes in, because we want to get lumber for the walls and ceilings so that we can get that in the process. Before we can do that, the boys are finishing the porches. That's a process. We've got 2 of them up on the rooftop. Click, click, click. I've got Andrew and Austin came to help today to put metal on the back porch. We're still waiting for windows for the front porch. Adam's in bed sleeping. He caught something, it's knocked him down flat, so he's out of commission. So we're thankful that Austin came to help. I'm just going to carry on, be doing laundry for the day, and I have to balance washing my loads with checking the pump, checking the tank up the hill, because I have to make sure there's water in the tank, keep the solar pump running enough to keep it filled, but I can't overwhelm the solar pump, otherwise we can run our well dry. So So there's all these nuances that we have to keep in mind when we are living off-grid. And so solar power, off-grid, just have to balance it all. We ran out of water last night because we got the washer yesterday. I was so excited. I did 3 or 4 loads right in a row, not even thinking about the water situation. And then Adam was like, "Why don't I have water to take a shower?" Okay, I was like, okay. So I had to run the inverter last night at 9:30 p.m. so that we could get a little bit of water for ordinary things. My dish washing is on hold because I'm prioritizing laundry today. So these are just normal tasks that we have to do every time. It's a learning curve for me because I'm not used to thinking so much about, do we have enough water to wash laundry? And I like to run the deep water wash because it gets the clothes cleaner, in my opinion. We get kind of dirty on the homestead. Greg does the tree business. He's always got dirty clothing. So I like the deep water wash, and so that does take a lot of water. So it's all a balance. Getting used to it, I'm not even there yet. I haven't figured it all out. But just some nuances to think of if you have a solar well pump, if you're off-grid, and if you do holding tanks, all these things. And then we have to think about the battery life too. Like, we can't really run the dryer all night, even though it's a gas dryer. It does use some electric. So even if we have the water in our tanks, I don't like to run my washing machine after dark. Even though we have the battery power, I like to keep the batteries charged up if I can. I don't know if you can see behind me, we have this small laundry tub. We had to downgrade to this, or downgrade, whatever, to this little bitty one because once we put the wood, the shiplap on the space, it wasn't enough room for our dryer and our washer and the laundry tub. I wanted a big one. We had a nice big one, but I'm just happy to have this one. It's wonderful. Another thing is you may be noticing that yes, we're off grid, but I'm still using my dryer. On nice sunny days like this, I probably will do a couple loads outside. We're supposed to be around 77 today, and it's sunny. But right now I'm just trying to catch up, and for stuff like this, these Carhartt jeans or the work jeans, they don't dry and they're super stiff when you hang them out on the line. And so I'm definitely doing the work clothes in the dryer. But I mean, normally I have been doing all the clothes on the clothesline. But I have so much laundry to catch up on that I'm just trying to get it done right now. To tell you the truth, I'm still trying to figure out these buttons on this machine and trying to figure out which one actually makes it work. It seems like you run a load and then you have to kind of reset it. I can't figure it out. I'm gonna actually call the repair person and see if they know what I'm supposed to do because I hit start and it goes beep beep beep. Andrew and Austin are cutting a pattern for the chimney so it will go through the green metal roofing, and these are some of the clear panels that we have to allow more light to come into the porch area. Okay, so this is actually a day in our life continuing. I'm just putting together, my eyes are trying to cry from those onions, some potato soup because Adam is sick. He thought that sounded good. It's the first thing he's eaten basically in 2 days, so I'm not even going real fancy on this. I have leftover baked potatoes from yesterday that the kids didn't eat. Whew. Got a lot of onions in there, which I'm sauteing. Maybe I should more properly call this onion and potato soup. So we're using the leftover baked potatoes. They do give it a good flavor, which I've done before. I'm putting the onions in, and we've got 2 boys on the roof working on that metal, and so I did end up calling the repairman about my washing machine, and he did offer to come out, but and they don't usually service our area because we're way out of their service area. He did say he would come out on Saturday, and I said, well, how about we just, if he has any tips, he's gonna either send me a video or walk someone through. It's a very simple fix that the lid apparently doesn't seat right, and as he pointed out correctly, we just invested in this machine. It should work perfectly, and that is what I expect. But it's not a major issue. It's just there's a little latch on the lid that is just a little fiddly. And so anybody who has the same model, which I will link in the description, you might just want to know that. One thing that he told me was a troubleshooting thing was he said the lid should be domed, slightly domed, and you can barely see it. But ours had been kind of pressed in, and so I had to go from the inside to open the lid and pop it out, and you know, the metal, it gave a pop. And so that was one thing. He said, you know, it probably just got pressed down in shipping or something. So there's that. But then those little the three beeping beeps and lights that it was doing, that is because the machine doesn't know the lid is closed. And so there's a sensor that is really delicate. And so if I barely press the lid down on the right side, it will kick on. And so at least I know that. I can make it come on now. We have some extra creamy almond milk going in this potato soup. This is the quick version. I sometimes will make it with blended cashew milk. Just trying to get it done. Get my kids fed. I'm going to grab some kale from the garden to put in this soup. Or we grew a vegetable, which is a salad green and a cooking green called, I'm going to slaughter the name, chijimasai. It's some kind of Chinese thing. It's very dark green, very nutritious, and I've only tried it once, and it was in a salad. I think it was pretty good. You know, it tasted like a salad green. But I'm going to either cut some of that, or I'm going to cut some of another type of green that's called Old Tokyo Kamatsuna. And I did cut some of that yesterday, and I put it in a salad along with some kale and lettuce that we grew. I'm loving it that it's almost mid-October and we're still getting some salad, and that's because Greg had the foresight to plant a winter garden. He is good about garden stuff. If it was up to me, we'd probably be just starting seeds now. So he's very faithful. He wants a winter garden, and this is going to be outside. Also going into the soup is tofu. Now my kids don't always eat plant-based anymore, but I still do. And adding tofu to your potato soup, you can blend it if you want to, but I just like to cube it. Drain it and cube it. It gives it another nice texture in there, and it picks up the flavor of your broth. If I had corn, I would put it in there and make like a corn chowder, but I don't believe I have any corn. We'll check the freezer. It'd be nice if I had some. Alrighty, it's looking good, but I need to add more milk to it. A little too thick. But while I go up the hill, I'm gonna let that heat through. Season it a little bit. Put some salt in. And I put a big onion and a half, but I'm still gonna add a little bit of onion powder. And some Italian seasoning is what I'm gonna add. I rarely cook with recipes. I'm gonna splash a little bit of turmeric in to give it a yellow, slightly yellow, or shall we say a golden look to it. Okay, this is the chijimasai, very green. It's labeled. It's a kind of, what is it, bok choy, or I'm not really good with my greens. I'll have to check the tag. We got a lot of kale. It's doing great. Most of it's doing great. This is the one I'm gonna get. Here's my shadow. This, what is called the Komatsuna. Have all these different colors. Looking really pretty. I kind of hate to disturb all this beauty, but it's gonna get too big. For now, I just got some of this Komatsuna. Chop it up really fine and put it in our soup. And how about a little bit of basil? Called the serviceman, he called me back. We found out the reason for the little glitch. It's just that this door is, the catch is super sensitive. I don't know if you can hear that little bitty click. It's hard to hear because I have the dryer going. So the thing is that this is so sensitive that if this doesn't click down, the washer thinks that it's not closed. I don't wash laundry on days like this because I don't want to deplete our battery stores. But since I don't know exactly how long we're going to be under cloudy skies with no prospect of sun, I will wait to do laundry till another day. Thankfully, in the parts of the video that I'm showing you where I'm doing the laundry, that was a sunny day. This is another morning where I'm looking back and going through my videos and editing them. And so this would not be a day to do laundry. We just want to be wise and save the battery power for when we really need it. Like we're running lights, we still have the fridges going. And so we save it for a rainy day, today is the rainy day. And so now we're using the battery power. That whole make hay while the sun shines. Do what you can when you're on solar while the sun is shining, so that on a rainy day you can just kick back and warm up by the fire and enjoy your day, and you don't have to worry about depleting your battery stores to do laundry.